McLovin, would you like to sum up why the Eagles did not play well at all last night?
Well, the officials kind of killed them on the first drive and the third drive. But there's all these reports of chemistry problems. Apparently, according to reports, Alshon Jeffrey called out Carson Wentz behind the scenes. There's all sorts of chemistry problems, discipline problems. Lane Johnson said guys are showing up late to meetings. There's trouble in Eagles land.
Well, this in from Ed Werder, ESPN. Carson Wentz selected second in the 2016 draft. Dak Prescott went 2 days and 133 picks later. I believe most NFL GMs would choose Wentz over Prescott, but I'm starting to think they would all be wrong. Prescott has outperformed Wentz by every measure so far. That's according to Ed Werder. We got to make up our minds on Dak Prescott. Everybody, whatever day it is, it's declare how much you love or don't love Dak Prescott Day. Because a week ago, they were a mess, right? And now everything's great. So we have to have one day where you say how much you think of Dak Prescott and the Cowboys and Jason Garrett. And then that's it. And then you have to stick by it. Because it feels like if Dak Prescott has a bad game, they'll say, oh, okay, maybe that's who he really is. Jason Garrett, oh, okay. All right, that's kind of offense. Hey, this team could be going to the NFC title game here. Yeah, Paulie.
Carson Wentz's career kind of reminded me a little bit of Andrew Luck's. His first 2 years, he just looks awesome. Remember that draft we had? Which young quarterback would you take? And Fritzy took him number one, and it bared out. Yeah. And now it feels like they're not really protecting him. He's got injuries, and he's not getting back to first, like an all-pro style, where he's one of the best. It feels like we're waiting for it, and no one's jabbing him yet.
Feels like there's something else in play there, as McLovin said, behind the scenes. You've had some players who have not put their names behind any of their opinions. They're anonymous, thoughts, quotes with somebody about Carson Wentz. And now, if Alshon Jeffrey is calling him out.
That was Howard Eskin reported this morning. That was Alshon Jeffrey who had the latest critique of Wentz behind the scenes. Yeah. But, it's not fair. It's not we don't know for sure. Lane Johnson did say people are showing up late to meetings and not being held accountable. They're all-pro right tackle.
Yeah, it's over.
By the way, if they win last night, what is the narrative this morning?
I don't know. It feels like there's something that's been there all season, and maybe a little bit longer than that. I don't know. I wonder if you would have said, let's take a vote with the Eagles players, would they rather have stayed with Nick Foles or Carson Wentz? I'm very, very curious what those Eagle players would have voted. If it's anonymous, I'm very curious what they would have voted there. And I'm not so sure that they would have gone with Carson Wentz. Just, he's a better quarterback, gives you a longer future, but I don't know. There's something in play there. Yeah, McLovin.
And ironically, in Jacksonville, if you had the same vote, the players would probably vote for Minshew over Nick Foles. What's going to happen there?
Yeah. You just have too much money invested in Nick Foles, and I haven't seen enough of him to be fair to him. And I know everybody loves Minshew magic.
A lot of bobbleheads to put back in the box. A lot of mustaches to put back in the box.
I know. It's not like they're going to have Nick Foles night.
Everybody gets a vest or something, like a fleece vest.
You part your hair to the side, and you're a good husband and father.
You show up on time. You show up 5 minutes early. Yeah. You bring donuts and coffee.
Stop at all stop signs.
Yes. He's the guy who stops at a stop sign longer than you need to. When no one's around, that's the guy that pulls up, stops. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then you ease on. He strikes me as I'm going to stop at the stop sign. I'm really stopping. I sort of at the stop sign. He stops. Yes, McLovin.
I'm trying to think, who is the goodiest NFL quarterback? It's certainly
He
Foles.
retired.
Well, who's that?
Andrew Luck.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Russell Wilson Jr. III strikes me as goody.
Kirk Cousins is
Kirk
not.
D.
And his minivan is not out there stayed out late.
Yes. Religious guy. Yeah, Kirk D. Cousins would be goody.
Like Kirk bought a minivan off lease, like a 3-year-old one to financial security.
He bought a minivan. He didn't even have kids. That's just the kind of guy he is. Just to be ready. Just in case he needs to take your kids around. Hey, I got a minivan. Oh, okay. Let's go with Mr. Cousins.
For more Dan Patrick Show, tune into Audience Channel 239 on DirecTV, stream for free on BR Live, or download the Dan Patrick Show app.